Keys to the game and preview. Let's go. This should be a good Sunday. Let's get right to all the previews. Hit that intro. And with that, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed. We've got 9 games at 1 o'clock on Sunday, so that should be really fun, obviously. As well as that, we've got 4 games at 4:20 at 4:05 and 4:25, and then Sunday Night Football as well. So we got 14 games on 13 games. Yeah, 14 games on Sunday. So there's a lot of games you got to cover, obviously. But yeah, let's get right into it. And yeah, here we go. Oh yeah, guys. By the way, Buffalo Bills safety Micah Hyde is out for the rest of the season with a neck injury. This is not good. Not good whatsoever. Like, this is their best. Arguably, he's a top 10 safety in the NFL. Arguably a top 5 safety. I think he's top 5 cover safety. He's one of the best safeties in the NFL. The Bills lost him, of course. Maybe not the biggest, but this is very, 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 very big. It's something you cannot lose, and they lost him. This is not good. This is not good. He's out for the rest of the season, Bills fans. I don't know if you're going to have to pick someone up, but you got to get someone to replace him because that is a problem. I hope I'm not overreacting, but this is not good whatsoever. In our first game today, we've got an undefeated matchup for battle for first place in the AFC East. Of course, the Dolphins coming off a crazy win. They're at 2-0. Bills, of course, most dominant team in the NFL 2 weeks. They're on a rampage. They're also 2-0. Again, 1 o'clock on CBS. Kevin Harlan, where is it? That's not it. Still not it. Kevin Harlan, Trent Green, Melanie Collins calling this game. It's a very good game. Both teams obviously undefeated. Dolphins looking to build off an insane win last week. Of course, 2 through 6 touchdowns. We'll see what you can do here today. Bills, of course, are 2-0. They're also looking to get to 3-0. They have a big game in a couple of weeks. Still got a couple of big games after this week, but obviously they're really looking to win this game. Probably the best matchup of Week 3. It's kind of a shame it's not on national TV, but it's not. Let's get right to the Bills starting lineup, though. For the Bills, Josh Allen, of course, the quarterback. Case Keenum's his backup. Devin Singletary, Zach Moss, James Cook in the backfield. Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis is questionable. Isaiah McKenzie, James Crowder, probably the same thing as last week. Jake Kumerow also has gotten a lot of touches. Khalil Shakir still is kind of like a special teamer at this point in this season. Marquez Stevenson, of course, on IR. Dawson Knox questionable. It's a little bit of an issue because Tommy Sweeney and Quinn Morris have not really shown much at all. Reggie Gilliam, so of course, the fullback. Deion Dawkins, Roger Saffold. Graham Ronos to probably start at center if Mitch Morse can't play. Ryan Bates, David Questenberry also there as well. Iggy Boddicker is out. Bobby Hart is suspended, obviously. Defensively, Greg Rousseau, Von Miller off the edge, AJ Epineza, Boogie Basham, Shaq Lawson also getting a lot of playing times. They've done a lot of stuff this year. Ed Oliver's out. Jordan Phillips is out, though. Taquan Jones, Tim Settle both have to step up. Of course, Tim Settle is questionable anyway, so they're gonna have to have a really good performance by their linebackers, especially Terrell Bernard, who's been the one guy in this defense who struggled. Jermaine Edmonds and Matt Milano keep playing like they are. They should be fine. Andre Smith, of course, suspended. Christian Benford, Teron Johnson, Kier Elam at cornerback, of course. Dane Jackson is out, so Shereen Neal came loose. Will have to step up. Jordan Poyer's questionable. Jaquan Johnson is free safety. DeMar Harmon might have to play strong safety. Of course, Micah Hyde is out, and Tre'Davious White also is out. So that's a big concern for this defense of the Bills. Is the Browns? I mean, the Dolphins are really going to want to air it out. They're going to have to play a lot of shell coverage if they're going to want to contain those receivers. That Tyler Bass is your kicker. Sam Martin's your punter. James Crowder is the punt returner. Kick returner is Isaiah McKenzie, and Reed Ferguson is the long snapper. Let's get right to the Dolphins starting lineup. For the Dolphins, of course, Tua coming off that huge game as a quarterback. Teddy Bridgewater is his backup. Skylar Thompson there as well. Raheem Mostert, Chase Edmonds, Salvin Ahmed, Myles Gaskin in the backfield. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle. Two of the top 3 receiving leaders in terms of yards in the NFL, of course, coming off huge games. Jedrick Wilson is questionable, so Trent Sherfield probably will get some targets. Mike Gesicki and Durham Smythe at tight end. Of course, Hunter Long and Keith and Carter are both out. Alec Ingold, the fullback. John Levitt is on the IR. Teron Armstead is questionable. Greg Little is his backup. Liam Eichenberg, Connor Williams, Robert Hunt, Greg Little. At that offensive line, Michael Dieter actually might even start. I don't even know. It's kind of a mess. Austin Jackson, of course, on IR. Defensively, Christian Wilkins, Emmanuel Ogbah, of course, Raekwon Davis is out. Is questionable, so Zach Sealer and John Jenkins will step up probably. And then we look at the linebackers, of course, edge rushers, my bad. Melvin Ingram, Jalen Phillips, Trey Flowers, Andrew Van Ginkel, Calvin Munson is on IR, Landon Roberts, and Jerome Baker up the middle. Xavier Howard is questionable, Keon Cross and Kader KO also there as well. Nick Needham, Noah Benogany, Brandon Jones, Javon Holland there as well. Clayton Thajindum, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, is on the IR, same with Trill Williams. Byron Jones is out another week. Jason Sanders, Thomas Morstead, kicker and punter. Terry Coach, punt returner, kick returner is Reem Mosper. Long snapper is Blake Ferguson. Is Jake Ferguson there? I think that actually is. I'm gonna look that up. That would be really cool. But yeah, let's get to the keys to the game. Guys, that's sick. What is it called? Blake Ferguson and Reed Ferguson are brothers. That's really cool. I'll be completely honest there. That's like really, really cool. Sorry, I'll stop check. Whatever. Oh yeah, but the long snappers, it's long snapper versus long snapper, brother versus brother. That's really cool. But yeah, for the keys to the game, for this Bills offense, continue to protect Josh Allen because he obviously needs to, as well as tempos for Josh Allen rush attempts. They've got to be able to test this defense. Of course, they're a little short-handed as well as that. They need to run the ball with Josh Allen. Establish an explosive and efficient ground game early. Like last year with all the backs. That's how they really blew the doors off the Dolphins last year. Here, I know that's probably not going to happen, but if they're able to run the ball really well again, that would be really nice. 5 starters is Von Diggs on third down. He's got to be the third down guy. I don't think they're going to really try to shut him down those other downs. Gabe Davis needs to get deep, whether he's covered or not. He just needs to get deep. I don't care what route it is. He just needs to get deep. Josh Allen has to read blitz quickly, or he'll be on his back or throw a pick six. As the Dolphins will play up and punish the receivers underneath. That's what they're going to want to do. Those big plays could definitely happen, but Dolphins are not letting the BS of the Bills did the last 2 weeks underneath happen again. They're just not going to let it happen. And even then, if Josh Allen is just like sitting comfortably, obviously didn't do that a lot that last week, but if he for some reason he does it, it's not going to end well. Bills defense under 2 yards per carry, obviously. Pressure consistent with 4 rushers, I think they can do. Of course, with two of your best interior defensive linemen out, that really stinks. And of course, play the show the whole game because the Dolphins' offense is faster than you are. Like, I'm not saying crazy, but with Micah Hyde out, you really need to play show coverage the whole game. Like it like needs to happen. If you don't, the Dolphins could have like 5 plays of over like 80 yards, something nuts like that. Whatever though, let's get right to the Dolphins' keys to the game. For Miami, I said Dolphins offense be the more physical team by setting the edge with blocking tackles. Basically, you got tackles, obviously, that are good at run blocking. Set the edge by using them. Like, I'm saying, boot them out. It doesn't matter that you don't run up the middle, but you got to set the edge. 3.0 yards per carry would actually be good, too. Tyreek and Jalen need to blend in with the run as they can get over the top of the RPOs. If 2 RPOs, the Bills to death. And he's able to scramble and run for over 30 yards. I think 2 is gonna have to run the ball, like actually get some rushing yards today. Not that I don't think he can, but he was super confident last week. He looked amazing. But obviously, the Bills aren't gonna give him some of the throws that he got last week. He's gonna have to be able to run the ball, and because they're gonna get pressure on him, he needs to be able to get those rushing yards as well. Scrambling, whatever, but those RPOs, so they can get those going early. Those deep balls will definitely happen. Dolphins defense play super aggressive, and make Josh Allen throw the ball quick and outside the numbers against press coverage. They're gonna run a lot of press because they have press corners. But if they get the pressure and make him throw out quick to the outside to the sideline, of course, they goes to Von Diggs, but Xavier Howard's on him. Xavier Howard brings that back for a pick 6, even if it's out to his shoulder. Stuff like that, the Dolphins are fit perfectly to play against the Bills. Of course, it's not gonna happen because Josh Allen obviously owns the Dolphins. See if that happens, though, guys. That's really the preview for the Bills and Dolphins game. Let's get to the next one. And, okay, guys, next game we've got the 0-2 Bengals. Of course, they've had a rough start to the season in many facets of the imagination. They're coming to this game at 0-2, though. Of course, the Jets are coming into this game at 1-1, coming off a huge win. They were down by 13 late in the fourth quarter. They came back and somehow won. It's 1 o'clock on CBS. Of course, this game, after, of course, the legend of Mike White, the Bengals ended up losing 31-34. They were actually the number 1 seed in the AFC coming into this game. Fun fact. But yeah, you got Ian Eagle, Charles Davis, Evan Washburn for this one. So the number 2 announcing crew for the CBS. It's not a national game, but it is a very big game in terms of all the imagination for both teams. Jets, of course, wanting to prove that they're actually a decent team, and the Bengals are trying to prove we don't suck. That's really it for that, though, guys. Let's get right to the Bengals starting lineup. Okay, guys, of course, for the Bengals, Joe Burrow's their starter, Brandon Allen's their backup, Joe Mixon, Samaje Perine, Chris Evans in the backfield, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd, Mike Thomas at wide receiver, of course, Hayden Hurst is questionable at tight end. Mitchell Wilcox might have to play. And, of course, Drew Sample is out as well. Jordan Williams, Cordell Volson, Ted Garris, Alex Kappa, and, of course, Leo Collins, who's questionable. He's been bad this year. Kima Denji might actually start there. Ben Brown, Desmond Noel, and Isaiah Prince all on the IR. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, Trey Anderson, Joseph Asai, Cam Sample off the edge. Khalil Kareem is on the IR. DJ Raider, BJL up the middle. Logan Wilson is there. Jermaine Pratt's doubtful, though, so Marcus Bailey probably would step up. Akeem Davis Gaither there as well. Joe Bacci is out. Secondary-wise, we got Eli Apple, Jacoby Awuzie, Mike Hill and Trey Flowers. Brandon Wilson is out. Von Bell and Jesse Bates III there as well. Trayson Anderson and Cam Taylor-Britt all in the IR, too. Evan McPherson's their kicker. Kevin Huber is their punter. Punter returner is Trent Taylor, and Chris Evans is their kick returner. Cal Ademenis, I can't even pronounce it, is their long snapper. Clark Harris is on the IR. Let's get right to the Jets. Okay, for the Jets, Zach Wilson is out again this week. So Joe Flacco and Mike White there at quarterback. Of course, Joe Flacco is starting. Michael Carter, Brees Hall, Ty Johnson in the backfield. Elijah Moore is there. Corey Davis is questionable. Also, Garrett Wilson, Braxton Berrios is supposed to have to step up. Roddy Adams is out. Tyler Conklin there. TJ Uzama is questionable. Nick Bowden is on IR. George Fant is questionable. Connor McGovern probably will have to step up. Lincoln Tomlinson, Connor McGovern, Elijah Vera Tucker, Max Mitchell there as well. Dwayne Brown, Mekhi Becton both on IR. Is there any news on Dwayne Brown? He's still on IR. Got it. Defensively, Carl Lawson there. John Franklin Myers is questionable, though. Jacob Martin, Jermaine Johnson, both of them been fantastic this year. Jacob Martin has been very good as a backup. I don't know, just Jermaine Johnson had a sack yet? He said half a sack, that's what I thought. Vinny Cruz on the IR, though. Quinn Williams questionable. Kasam McThomas, Nathan Shepard, Sheldon Rankins there as well. Quan Alexander, C. Mosley, Quincy Williams there as well. Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Michael Carter, and Brent Nichols there at corner. Jordan Whitehead is questionable. Lamarcus Joyner is there as well. Ashton Davis is also there. And then Greg Hill and kicker, Brandon Mancher punter, Braxton Berrios, Steven Turner, and Thomas Hennessy is your long snapper. Let's get right to the keys of the game. Okay, for this Bengals offense, 10 runs in the first quarter, along with a long opening drive. They got to get that going. They just had a terrible opening drive the first week of the season. They need to set a ton. Where are those big plays? Yeah, get those in there too. And finally, 5+ Tyler Boyd targets. He seems like the receiver being the most open, playing the best in terms of like route running consistently. Get him the ball. Bengals defense blitz heavy in the first quarter. I mean, like, yeah, it's Joe Flacco. No big plays out of the backfield by both. Brees Hall. Or Michael Carter, those guys have done a lot. Just don't let it happen. No nuclear coverage bust either. That happened last week. Just don't let it happen. Now let's get to the Jets. Okay, for this Jets offense, continue to take shots downfield to Garrett Wilson and Corey Davis. Both those guys had some big weeks last week. Of course, Corey Davis kind of had a free touchdown. But if he can play, that would be very nice. But run the ball 25+ times to free up Elijah Moore, who obviously isn't the most refined route runner. We saw that last week. Really struggled at times. But when he can get freed up, he's very explosive. Jets defense, absolutely no big plays. They get up those. That could be a long day. And make Joe Burrow beat you over the middle because he hasn't really made many of those good throws over the middle yet this season. A lot of it is him having to step up, and no offense to this offensive line. The penetration has never really been great. Just being completely honest, it's not a power offensive line. It really never has been. When Joe Burrow's been the quarterback, they need to get that going. If Joe Burrow can someone beat them over the middle. Yeah, that's really it. Let's get to the next game. Okay, guys, got the Texans and the Bears in this next game. Texans scores all 1-1, coming off a frustrating loss against the Broncos. They probably should have won the game, but they didn't because, again, the Broncos are just a better team. Bears 1-1 coming off a bad loss to the Packers. Of course, they won week 1. This is probably they're a bad team, but we'll see what happens. 1 o'clock on CBS. It's a game, I guess I'll put it that way. I don't think it's the worst game of the week, but it's not exactly the most inspiring either. It's not a game I'd sit down and like to watch. Andrew Cattle on James Lofton. Michael Grady have the call for this one. I think I like it. It's going to be a pretty good game, I'll tell you that, though. Let's get right to the Texans starting lineup, though. Okay, for the Texans, Davis Mills scores quarterback. Kyle Allen is his backup, same thing with Jeff Driscoll. Yeah, they get 1 run last week, too. David Pierce, Rex Burkhead in the backfield. Darius Anderson on the IR. Darrell Ogunbowale is there as well. Brandon Cooks, Nico Collins, Chris Moore, receiver. Phil Dorsett actually probably will get some touches. John Mechie is out again. Yeah, my bad. Why is he not on the IR? Whatever. Farrell Brown is questionable. Brevin Jordan is out. O.J. Howard again will probably start. Jordan, Akins is just there as well. Of course, O.J. Howard had 2 touchdowns last week. No, that was week 1, I think. Whatever. Troy Harrison is the fullback. Larry Tunsil, Kenyon Green, Scott Questenberry, A.J. Conte is out across the offensive line. Kenyon Green getting his first starts. Austin Deculus is out. Jonathan Grenard, Jerry Hughes, Obadiah Okoronkwo, Rasheem Green off the edge. Is Jerry Hughes still playing well? I guess not really. He didn't do a lot last week. Yeah, Malik Collins, questionable. Ray Lopez there as well. Kurt Hennish is out. Mario Addison, Derek Rivers both on IR. Camu Grugier-Hill, Christian Kirksey, Blake Cashman across that linebacking core. Neville Hewitt is there as well, of course. I think it was top 5 in tackles in 2020. Whatever. Isaac Yadam is out in the secondary. Tavir Thomas is on IR. Samuel Kendall Sheffield. Steven Nelson and Eric Stingley Jr., Desmond King there as well. Jonathan Owens, Jalen Petrie at safety. Kylie Fairbrand is their kicker. Cameron Johnson is their punter. Punter returner is Desmond King, and Trayman Smith is their kick returner. Long snapper is John Weeks. Let's get right to the Bears starting lineup. Okay, for the Bears, Justin Fields, of course, quarterback. Trevor Siemian is his backup. David Montgomery, Khalil Herbert, both in the backfield. Tristan Ebner actually might get some carries too. I don't think he has a carry yet this season. I think he actually might get some. Jonah Mooney, Equity VC, Brown, Dante Pettis, Byron Pringles, receiver, Felix Jones Jr. is doubtful again. He's been he's an absolute travesty. I'll put it that way. He's not looked so good so far. Wait, where was he at again? I keep forgetting where he was from. Tennessee. What am I saying? Nikhil Harry is on IR as well. Cole Kmet is there. Ryan Griffin is out. Claire Blasingame is their fullback. Braxton Jones, Cody Whitehair, Lucas Patrick, Javin Jenkins, Larry Borum across the defensive line. Doug Kramer is on the IR. Alex Leatherwood is out another week. Defensively, Alquan Mohammed, Robert Quinn, Dominique Robertson, Travis Gibson off the edge, Andrew Blackson, Justin Jones up the middle. Matthew Adams is out. Sterling Weatherford is his backup, so he'll probably play. Roquan Smith is questionable though, so that's big. Jack Sanborn might get some playing time. Nicholas Morrell also there as well. Javen White is on the IR. Jalen Johnson is questionable. Lamar Jackson, Kendall Vildor, Kyler Gordon there as well. Michael Joseph is also in the IR. Juwan Brisker, Eddie Jackson there up the middle. Kyler Santos, Trent Gill, kicker and punter. Felix Jones Jr. is doubtful, so Amir Smith-Marsette might get punting returner duties. Khalil Herbert is kick returner. Patrick Skills are long snapper. Let's get the keys to the game. Gave this Texans offense, push the ball down. Push the ball downfield off play action, whether it's to the sideline on a deep it's to the sideline. If it's just deep or to the if it's to the sideline or on a deep bomb to Chris Moore, Brandon Cooks, those guys are their deep threats. Get on the ball and keep up the volume of size efficiency in the run game. Really worked well last week. First, Damon Pierce looks like he's getting his thing going. See if he can continue that. For the Texans defense, don't take advantage of the Bears' reliance on the run game and the offense in long yard situations. With containing Justin Fields on first and run focus as well. So basically, they got to focus on stopping the run. If they can do that and get them in long yard situations, those are two things they do. And they contain Justin Fields, the Bears offense is doomed. Let's get to the Bears though. Okay, for this Bears offense, run the ball for over 200 yards and at least get the football out quick while throwing the ball 20 plus attempts. They got to throw the ball 20 plus times. I'm sorry. Their running game should be very good, but again, if they just aren't gonna throw the ball for 20 plus times, there's really no point in you got to throw the ball. Bears defense under 25 minutes of possession time. They've got to keep it that to a minimum. No long drives, 3+ sacks, less turnovers. They don't want to have to get into any passing situation. The way they do it is limiting possession times, no long drives again, 3+ sacks, less turnovers. In a way, a 95-yard touchdown by the Texans offense in a one-play drive is better than giving up a 13-play, 14-minute, 97-yard drive. That is just, they can't have that, but they can't. Honestly, yeah, that's better. Even though it really isn't, it's better. Let's get to the next game, though. Our next game, we've got the Raiders, who are 0-2 against going into Tennessee against the 0-2 Titans. Both these teams are both 0-2, of course. 2022 playoff teams, 2021 playoff teams, 1 o'clock on Fox. Both these teams are obviously desperate at this point in the season, both, of course, at 0-2. Where is the game? Oh, yeah. Ken Albert, Jonathan Vilma, Shannon Spake on the call for this one. It's really just a big game, being completely honest with you. Of course, the Raiders have lost 2 close games. Offensively, they really haven't gotten on a ton of rhythm, consistent game. Titans have they got embarrassed by the Giants, and they got the butt shellacked against the Bills. So, overall, of course, Derrick Henry still hasn't had a good game this year. He's looking to do that as well. Either way, let's get right to the Raiders starting lineup. Okay, for this Raiders, it's offense, Derek Carr, of course, quarterback, Josh Jacobs, the running back, but he's questionable, so Brandon Bolden, Amir Abdullah, and Zamir White might get some carries. Devontae Adams there, Hunter Renfrow is out. He's been really bad this year. Matt Collins, Teron Johnson at receiver. Of course, DJ Turner's on IR. Darren Waller, Foster Moreau at tight end. Jacob Johnson at fullback. Colton Miller, John Simpson, Andre James questionable though, so I don't even know who plays center. Maybe Dylan Parham. But yeah, Leslie Kine Sr. and Jeremy Elmore are across that offensive line. Brent Parker's on IR. It's kind of crazy to think that this offensive line was one of the best in the NFL, and now it's one of the meh offensive lines. So I'll just say it's mid. But yeah. For the edge rushers, Chandler Jones, Max Crosby, Tayshaun Bowser. I think he has a sack. No, he doesn't have a sack. And Cleveland Farrell there as well. Jordan Jenkins on IR. Neil Farrell Jr. is questionable, and up the middle, Andrew Billings is there. Lil Nichols is questionable. Jonathan Hankins probably will have to step up. Divine Diablo's there. Denzel Perriman's out another week, I think. Darian Butler is going to probably play. Mike Kaiser's on the IR. Jan Brown there as well. Rockets see Nate Hodge, Sam Webb, and Amik Robinson across that secondary, along with Jonathan Abram, Trey Murray is questionable. He didn't play last week. John Harmon might play free safety there. Anthony Averett is on the IR as well. Daniel Carlson is your kicker. A.J. Cole is your punter. Of course, with Hunter Renfrow out and T.J. Turner in the IR, Tyron Johnson probably will be the punter returner, or it would be the kick returner, Emil Abdullah. Trent Sieg is your long snapper. Let's get right to the Titans starting lineup. Okay, for the Titans, of course, Ryan Tannehill at quarterback. Malik Willis is also there as well, but he's obviously the backup. Yeah, you got Derrick Henry, Dontrell Hilliard, and Hassan Haskins there. Of course, Dontrell Hilliard coming back. Robert Woods, Traylon Burks, Nick Westbrook at wide receiver. Kyle Phillips is doubtful. Grayson McMath is on the IR. Austin Hooper, Geoff Swim, tight end. Tony Carter is their fullback. Dennis Daly starting because Taylor wants out. Jamarco Jones is on IR. How long is he out for? Oh, that's nice. He's out another season. Taylor Lewan, guys, is out for the rest of the season with a knee injury because, of course, he tore his ACL a couple years ago. They reconstructed his knee, and yeah, his knee is actually falling apart. He should retire. Being completely honest with you, his knee is like it's in a ruin. And he hasn't been the same since then either. Aaron Brewer, Ben Jones, Nate Davis, Nicolas Petit Frere, also there. Frere, if you want to be French, there as well. Jeffrey Simmons, DeMarcus Walker to your tar off the middle on this defensive line. Deshaun Hand is on the IR. Danico Autry. Rashad Weaver off the edge. It's kind of sad that Danico Autry has to be an edge rusher because obviously he's a little bigger. He's not really supposed to be an edge rusher. But yeah, David Long Jr. Zach Cunningham is questionable up the middle. Monty Rice is out. Dylan Cole probably will start. Of course, Harold Leonard after the rest of the season after the season torn ACL. Ole Odenhigh is out. Bud Dupree is out. Why is he out? Hip. What about Ole Odenhigh? Wrist. Okay, and yeah, Chance Campbell's in the IR as well. Of course, Roger McCreary, Christian Volan, Caleb Farley, Trey Avery, their receiver. Kevin Byard and Amani Hooker at cornerbacks. Chris Jackson, Elijah Molden, AJ Moore on the IR as well. Uga Amadi at that free safety spot. The backup here, Caleb Shudak, is out. Randy Bullock, Ryan Stonehouse, kicker punter. Kyle Phillips is doubtful at punter returner. Amani Hooker is the other punter returner. He'll probably play. Dontrell Hilliard, hope he doesn't get hurt because they don't really have another returner. Of course, they're trying to Cannon on the IR. But yeah, he's the kick returner, and Morgan Cox is the long snapper. Let's get right to the keys of the game. Okay, guys, for this Raiders offense, continue to get the ball consistently to the backs, whether it's in the run game or the screen game. I mean, just get them the ball because they have to get the balls out on Hunter Renfrow. Just don't blow in the fourth quarter. Derek Carr, he did it last week. Don't do it. And finally, Devontae needs to catch a long bomb. He really hasn't gotten deep whatsoever this year. I think he needs to get one of those deep balls. Really just to get this defense to know, yeah, I'm running deep routes now too. Raiders defense communicate when passing players in zone. They really struggled with that last week. Stack the box and force Derrick Henry to break tackles because he hasn't really done that yet. Don't give him any open gaps or space. Just stack the box, as well as Ryan Tannehill having to stand and chuck it. Yeah, you want him to have to stand back there and just absolutely unload it because if you don't let him do that and he has time, that could be a little dangerous. Along with the fact that he is very comfortable when he doesn't have pressure. Let's get to the Titans. Okay, for this Titans offense, this team goes where Derrick Henry goes. He actually has to have a good game. Titans defense, pressure, and no Trey Avery. Trey Avery's awful. Just don't have him play. He was absolutely dog water last week. Worst player I've seen ever. He's awful. Let's get to the next game. Okay, our next game, we've got the 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles. We're looking like one of the better teams in the NFL. They're going into Washington for their annual matchup against the Commanders, except it really isn't that annual because they get a rematch against their former number 2 overall pick Yep, Carson Wentz. It's his return. It's his revenge game against the Eagles. Another revenge game later in the season anyway. It's 1 o'clock on Fox. It's a very important game. It's not a national game, but it's a very big game. Adam, me, and Mark Schler, Christina Pink on the call for this one. Where's Lindsay Zarniak? She calling another game? I'll check on that in a little bit. But yeah, this is a very big game. Obviously, like I said, 1 o'clock on Fox. Both teams really want this the game, and of course, if Washington's able to win, they could be atop the A. Well, probably not, but with the win, they have a chance of being top of the NFC East. They really want this game, especially Carson Wentz. Let's get to the Eagles starting lineup. Okay, for the Eagles, of course, Jalen Hurts, their starting quarterback. Gardner Minshew is the backup. Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gilmore, Boston Scott, Trey Sermon in the backfield. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Dak Pascal, receiver. Dallas Goedert, Jack Stoll at tight end. Tyree Jackson is out. Jordan Mailata, Sue Opeta might actually start because Landon Dickerson is questionable. Jason Kelsey, Isaac Salomon, Lane Johnson there as well. Brett Toth is out. Defensively, you got Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Janarius Robinson, and Teron Jackson off the edge. Fletcher Cox, Javon Hargrave there as well. Of course, Derek Burnett on the IR. Kaiser White, T.J. Edwards, Hassan Reddick, and Jamel Dean, and Kobe Dean across the linebacking core. James Bradbury, Darius Slay, Avante Maddox, Zach McPherson in that secondary along with Marcus Epps and C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Jake Elliott is their kicker. Aaron Sippis is the punter. Returners, Quez Watkins, and Nick Lovato is the long snapper. Right to the Washington Commanders starting lineup. Okay, for Washington, of course, Carson Wentz, quarterback. Antonio Gibson, J.D. McKissick, Jonathan Williams. There's, well, of course, Taylor Heineke, Sam Powell backing up Carson Wentz. Brian Robinson is out another week, though. Terry McLaurin, John Johnson, Curtis Samuel. Cam Sims, their wide receiver. Logan Smith, Logan Thomas, John Bates at tight end. Charles Leonard Jr., Andrew Norwell, Wes Schweitzer, Trace Turner, Sam Cosmi. On that offensive line, Tyler Larson is out. Willie Beavers and Chase Rullier are on the IR. How long is he out for the rest of the season? All I know is he's on IR. Chase Rullier is on the IR. Then we go over to the defensive side of the ball. Jameson Smith-Williams is questionable. He's had a little bit of a struggle. Shaq Tony will probably start. Chase Young out another week. Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, and Matthew Sweat there as well. Casey Tugwell's out. Bradley King might actually get some snaps. Daniel Wise, again, is out again. And then you got Phil Darian Mathis, who I think is out for the rest of the season. He's on IR. David Mayo's questionable. John Bostic is his backup, so he might play. Cole Holcomb, Jamin Davis there as well. Drew White is on the air secondary-wise. You got Kendall Fuller, Benjamin St. Just, Christian Holmes, William Jackson III at corner. Safety-wise, Cameron Curl and Bobby McCain. Joey special teams, you got Joey Sly, kicker, Trust Blazer punter, Dax Milne, or Malign, whatever Milne is your returner, and Cameron Cheeseman is the long snapper. Let's get right to the keys of the game. Okay, for the Eagles offense, 100+ rushing yards in the first half, like, duh. Like, yeah. 100+ rushing yards in the first half. They got to get those rushing yards. Zone reads need to be utilized in a mid-yard situations. The Commanders are really indecisive there. They don't know what they're going to do if that zone read game gets going. And finally, James should take shots over the middle. I mean, he took some shots over the middle last week. But if he takes some really long bombs over the middle and those start working out, he can get the sideline ones that he's much more comfortable throwing at this point in his career. But for this Eagles defense, continue to bring consistent pressure. I mean, it works, and it's really good. Fit the unique shotgun running game of the Commanders as well. If they can't fit that, it's going to be a long day. The Commanders really like that running game. Not only that, though, it really sets up a lot of the stuff they like to do. Let's get to the Commanders, though. Okay, for this Commanders offense, it's Carson time. 400+ total yards, 4+ touchdowns, and 2+ 40-yard air passes. I don't care if it's I don't care how he does it, but if he gets those numbers, they're gonna win the game. And don't let Anthony Dempsey get under 10 carries. He needs to get the ball a lot. No offense, but it kind of dominates the Eagles. Commanders defense, hold the Eagles to under 10 points in the first half. I don't know why it's just in first half. In the first half, they really need to keep this game under control and hold them to at bay in the run game. I know that sounds kind of crazy. They don't need to actually get a ton of pressure on Jalen Hurts. If they're able to hold them to a low amount of points and they're really able to contain that run game, it could be really good for them. That's really it for this big game, though. Let's get to another big game. Let's go. Okay, next game we got the Detroit Lions, who of course are coming off that huge home win. Start this after that for a big rebound win after the loss to the Eagles, whatever. They're 1-1. Jared Goff's coming off a big game. Vikings are 1-1, coming off a stinker of a game after showing up against Packers. It's 1 o'clock on Fox. I don't know who's called for it. I think it's like who's calling it. Oh yeah, Brandon Gaudin, Brady Quinn, and Megan Olivia. I think that was Brandon Gaudin called a Vikings game a couple years ago. I think it was the Vikings and Falcons. That was actually a national game. I'm not even kidding. And yeah, the Vikings got actually destroyed. I think it was 40-23. The Falcons won. All you need to know is, yeah, this is a big game for both teams. Of course, Jared Goff's looking to continue what he's been doing. The Lions are looking to get their first winning record since 2017, I think, something nuts like that. But yeah, the Vikings are just looking to get back over 500 with the rebound win. Offensively, they really need it. Defensively, maybe not as much, but they still need it. Let's get right to the Lions our projected starting lineup. Okay, for the Lions, Jared Goff, of course, quarterback. Nate Sudfeld is his backup. DeAndre Swift is questionable, but you still got Jamal Williams, Craig Reynolds there as well. DeAndre Swift, of course, not playing would be a big deal, though. Amon Ross St. Brown looking for another big game. DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds, Khalif Raymond, also a receiver. I think it's not the home runner. What am I saying? Jamison Williams out another week, of course, still recovering from that torn ACL back in that national championship game against the Georgia. All you need to know is, though, T.J. Hawkins is questionable. Brock Wright is his backup. He's a very serviceable backup. Jason Kabinda, the fullback, is out. Very good run blocker. Taylor Lewan is at their tackle. Of course, Jonah Jackson out another week. Drew Forrest probably stepped in, played very well last week. Frank Ragnar, they really need to play, though, because Evan Brown did struggle a little bit. Logan Stenberg, Finesse will fine there. Halba Vaitai in the IR, same thing with Tommy Kramer. How long is Halba Vaitai even out? Vaitai. Back. Yeah, he has back surgery. I hope he's back by, I don't know, week 15 or something. Charles Harris, Michael Brockers, Lee McNeil on that, and Aiden Hutchinson there as well, but he's questionable. John Komsky is out. Austin Bryant is there as well. Romeo Cora is out, but Julian Okora is there, big for them. John Pascal's out as well. When will Romeo Cora be back? Like, Jesus. Oh, he has an Achilles injury. Yeah, he won't be playing for a while. He hasn't played since, like, 2020, and now he was obviously their best player. Malcolm Rodriguez, I like him, of course, out of Oklahoma State. He's been fantastic so far in his career. Alex Anzalone, Chris Board there as well. Amani Oriarwe, Jeff Okuda, Mike Hughes, and Will Harris round out that cornerback room with Tracy Walker and Deshaun Elliott covering the deep parts of the field. Austin Cybers, their kicker. Jack Fox is their punter. Khalif Raymond is their punter returner. Kick returner is Justin Jackson. Scott Daly is their long snapper. Let's get right to the Vikings starting lineup. Okay, for the Vikings, Kirk Cousins, of course, quarterback. Nick Mullins is his backup. Dalvin Cook, Alexander Madison, Keenan Nwango at running back, and even Tyler Chandler, but, like, let's be honest, Dalvin Cook and Alexander Madison, only guys who are actually getting touches. Maybe Keenan Nwango in the receiving game. Either way, though, Justin Jefferson really looking to just have a productive game, because last week he was absolutely awful. Adam Thielen looking to bounce back, looking to continue another good game. KJ Osborne looking just to get involved. Jalen Rager maybe he can be their power back. I don't even know. Break Prohel is out, though. That's a little concerning. CJ Ham, the fullback, Irv Smith Jr., I don't even know what to say. He's been an absolute travesty. I mean, he dropped a touchdown last week. Yeah, he had one, but, like, he gets open, just can't make many catches. Christian Darrisaw, Urza Cleveland, Garrett Bradbury, Ed Ingram, Brian O'Neill across that offensive line. Defensively, you got Dalvin Tomlinson, Jonathan Bullard, and Harrison Phillips. Daniel Hunter, Zadarius Smith off the edge. Patrick Jones the second, and D.J. Watt there as well. Eric Henderson is questionable. Jordan Hicks is there as well. And Ryan Conley is out. Kenny Wilkes is on the IR. V.C. Johnson, Thomas Hennigan on offense at receiver as well. Patrick Peterson, Cameron Dantzler Sr., Shannon Sullivan, Chris Boyd there at cornerback with Andrew Booth Jr. out and sitting with Harrison Smith. John Matulis probably will get some snaps. Hasn't been a special teamer. Cameron Bynum and Lucy in there as well. Special teams wise, you got Greg Joseph, Ryan Wright, Jalen Rager's punt returner, kick returner, Keenan Nwango, Andrew DePola is your long snapper. Let's get right to the keys to the game. Okay, for this Lions offense, continue to create big plays with crazy formations. I mean, that's probably how they're going to create big plays, and it really helps jumpstart their offense. Jared Goff needs that. What is it called? Confidence throughout the game. If you can keep that confidence going up, they're going to win a lot of games. And have the interior of the offensive line play extremely aggressive. I mean, that might sound crazy, but trust me, the Vikings are not a great run blocking team. And the Lions offensive line is very, very, very agile. And their lateral movement as a unit is very, very good. Lions defense, shoot the run lanes, along with having Alex Anzalone cover down Cook out of the backfield. The shooting the run lane is big, though, because, again, last year, in the 2 games they played against the Vikings, first one, the run defense was a little spotty. Again, they were not hitting the run lanes well, along with the fact that the gap control in the second game still wasn't that great, but they were able to shoot the run lanes really well and keep their eye disciplined, containing Dalvin Cook. But what they'll really get him with this time is if Dalvin Cook is really able to be contained out of the backfield. That's how the Lions are going to win this game defensively. Let's get right to the Vikings, though. Okay, if this Vikings offense commit to the run game, like, they need to run it. And whatever the red zone strat was last week, forget about it. Like, just back the whole entire thing. I bet they already have. Like, that's obvious. But anything would be better than last week. Vikings defense, Slaughter, Jared Goff, and play conservative against Amon-Ra St. Brown and DeAndre Swift. If DeAndre Swift doesn't play, I don't really care. Jamal Williams will run you over. And Amon-Ra St. Brown is very, very shifty. Not the fastest dude, really. He's just really explosive. Kind of like me when I play sports. If you didn't want to know, yeah, I'm not fast, but, like, I'm explosive. Whatever, yeah, kind of like that. But, yeah, Jared Goff, if he gets slaughtered, he's just not going to look good. And you got to, like, again, be conservative against the shifty playmakers. But with that, let's get to the next game. Okay, in our next game, we've got the 1-1 Saints going into Carolina against the 0-2 Panthers, who are pretty desperate at this point. Of course, the Saints coming off a crappy game against the Bucs, we'll put it that way. They're looking to bounce back, and of course, they had a good Week 1 win, comeback win. Panthers, though, 2 close losses, but they've got to be able to finish. I mean, I don't know what else to say. If they can't finish, they're not winning any games. Doesn't matter how close it is. 1 o'clock on Fox, though. Big game for both teams, obviously. But if you're, if you're a Saints fan, should be pretty happy about this game, to be completely honest. But, yeah, Dan Haley, Matt Millen, and Lindsey Zarniak have the call for this one. I mean, what the heck are these announcing pairings? That's all I got to say. It's kind of a mess, but, yeah, that's where you get there. Hope you guys enjoy the game, though. Let's get right to the Saints projected starting lineup. Okay, for the Saints, James is, of course, the quarterback, but he's questionable. Andy Dalton actually might start. Alvin Kamara is questionable again. Mark Ingram and Dwayne Washington, and, yeah, even Tony Johnson Jr., who is absolutely atrocious. Probably getting playing time. Mark Ingram, if he doesn't fumble, probably be very good. Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and Jarvis Landry, and Marcus Kelly, and Tre'Quan Smith, and Deontay Hardy, all receiver. Yeah, I'm calling him that now, not Deontay Harris, because that's... I respect him. I'll call him Deontay Hardy. All you need to know is they got the whole game back at receiver. K1 Baker is suspended, though. Juwan Johnson, Adam Trautman, and tight end. Taysom Hill is questionable. Of course, Nick Fournette has not. I don't even think he's gotten a snap on offense. Yeah, I don't think he's gotten a snap. All you know is Juwan Johnson's emerged as their number 1 tight end. He had, 6 catches last week or something like that. Whatever. James Hurst, Andrew Speed, Eric McCoy, Cesar Ruiz, Ryan Ranchick is questionable, Landon Young might display. Going across that beat-up offensive line, Adam Prentice, of course, fullback. Trevor Penning, Forrest Lamp, Ethan Greenidge, all on IR for that offensive line. Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, Carl Granderson, Tano Caspian off the edge. Malcolm Roach and Albert Huggins up the middle are both on IR. But Chad Tuttle and David Onyemata are still there. Same thing with Contavious Street. Pete Warner, Demario Davis, Caden Ellis up the middle on that linebacker core. Demario Jackson is on IR. Paulson Debo and Marcus May in that secondary are both questionable. Bradley Roby, G.G. Gray went out to step up anyway. P.J. Williams, Marshall Lattimore, Tyron Matthew round up that secondary for Smoke Monday. On IR, Alante Taylor is out. Why would I think he came out of Tennessee? He was Tennessee, second round pick. What am I saying? Will Lutz, Blake Gillikin, is kicker and punter. Deontay Hardy, of course, the returner. Zach Wood is the long snapper. Let's get right to the Panthers starting lineup. Okay, for the Panthers, Baker Mayfield, of course, quarterback. P.J. Walker is his backup. Sam Darnold, Matt Corral, both on IR. Christian McCaffrey, Dante Foreman, Drew Barber, Rasheem Blackshear across that running back core. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, Shi Smith, Terrence Marshall Jr. in that receiving room. Same thing with Shad Higgins and Laviska Shenault. Shi Smith, as much as I like Shi Smith, he is not a good receiver. That's a conclusion. Andre Roberts is on IR, though. Ian Thomas, Tommy Trumbull, tight end. Ian Thomas had a good first week, but then sucked last week again. Fullback, Gianni Rossini. Tackles are Bill Taylor Money and Ikem Bukwanu. Guards, Michael Jordan and Austin Corbett. Pat Alphonse, their center. Bradley Bozeman backing them up. Kramer Irving also still on the Panthers at right tackle. Going defensively, though, off the edge, you got Brian Burns, Yatur Gross-Matos, who I don't think has been good in like 3 years. I don't even know what to say there. Henry and Marcus Haynes Jr. still there as well. I thought he had a sack last week. He hasn't had a sack yet. Derek Brown, Matt Ioannidis. Again, has Derek Brown had a sack yet? No, but I definitely know Matt Ioannidis has had a sack. Yup. That's his only tackle. Bravion Roy on IR, though. Shaq Thompson, Damian Wilson, Franklin LaVue there as well. Drew Stanford is on IR. Brandon Smith probably going to make his debut. I don't know. Did he play last week? I don't think he did. But, yeah, he's an absolute monster. Just doesn't know how to play. Dante Jackson is questionable, but you still got C.J. Henderson and Stanley Thomas Oliver might get the third. Stanley Thomas Oliver the third might get to playing time, but he's questionable. Keith Taylor Jr. just horn there as well. Xavier Woods. Jeremy Chin there, also in that secondary. Kicker is Eddie Pinheiro. Punter is Johnny Hecker. Shi Smith is your punter returner. Kicker returner is Chuba Hubbard. J.J. Jansen is the long snapper. Zane Gonzalez, of course, on IR, and same thing with Andre Roberts. Already mentioned that. Right to the keys of the game, though. Okay, for the Saints offense, Michael Thomas 7+ targets because again, you gotta give him the football. Alvin Kamara light usage, less than 15 carries because he just doesn't see. He's a little obviously he's hurt, but again, just get him some light usage. Not that type of game. Jameis an efficient bounce back, 65+ for completion, 200+ TDs, 2+ TDs, 2+50, 250+ yards, 250. I wouldn't be mad if he got like 200 either, but as long as it's efficient. The O-line needs to be aggressive and get off the line quick on passing downs. They didn't do that a lot last week. They kind of overestimated that Bucs defense. One of the reasons they lost that game. But either way, if they can just be aggressive, I'm happy. Saints defense built off the great run defense with more consistent passers. That really has the only thing that really was the only thing holding the defense back from having a near 7 pluses in a performance grade. Of course, that's what I do for my performance grade. Yeah, last week that really was the only reason I didn't give them that. Like their pass rush just wasn't consistent enough, and they have 20 points to the Bucs. Well, more like 13, but they played really well. But if they can, again, more consistent pass rush, same thing they did last week, they'll win. Let's get to the Panthers though. Give the Panthers offense, just don't blow it in the third quarter, 10+ points. If they get 10+ points in the fourth quarter, I'd be shocked if they lost. Unless they were down by like 40. Panthers defense, they've got to account for the QB and Scramble Darrell. I mean, if Jameis Winston's able to get 10 first rounds, my mind can blow up. Of course, I'm not even a Panthers fan, but that's just aggregating for any football fan. Contain Alvin Kamara if and when he runs the football. Yeah, just don't want to get any big plays because he's Alvin Kamara. And target James Hurst off the edge with Brian Burns. James has been caught being on skates at times in the Bucs game. Yeah, he was a little bit on skates. The rolls kind of just fell off, and he was on like just flat out skates. But yeah, off the edge, Brian Burns. That's what you want to see. That's the matchup they want to see if they can do it. Let's get to the big games. Oh yeah, it's the NFL on Fox Week 3 doubleheader Game 1. Oh yeah, I know that sounds like a mouthful. It really was, but yeah, Fox is a doubleheader for Week 3. Like I think they have like the past last 3 years in Week 3. All you know is it's Fox's national 1 o'clock early window game. It's the first game of a doubleheader. Like I said, NFL on Fox Week 3 doubleheader Game 1. You got the Rams who are 1-1 coming off a crazy blown lead loss, just bad game overall. Patriots 1-1, of course, coming off a big win in a national game against the Steelers, so they proved to the nation they're a pretty good team. But yeah, 1 o'clock on Fox. Yeah. What is it called? Joe Davis. Where is it? Joe Davis, Daryl Johnson, Pam Oliver on the call for that. Like I said, that is their second crew. That is the national game here. Should be a really good one. Like I said, 1 o'clock at Fox. That's the national game. Definitely would tune into it if I were you. Should be a really good one. Let's get right to the Ravens depth chart. Okay, for the Baltimore Ravens offense, QB Lamar Jackson obviously just he's there. Tyler Huntley, J.K. Dobbins is questionable though. So Kenyon Drake, Mike Davis, Justin Hill also there. Rashad Bateman, Devin Duvernay, Demarcus Robinson, a receiver. James Prochet is questionable. Slade Bolden still on IR. Why do I think he went to Rutgers? Did he go to Rutgers? No, he went to Alabama. Of course he did. Mark Andrews, a tight end. Isaiah Likely is questionable. Josh Oliver, Nick Boyle behind him. Patrick Reichard is at fullback. Linus Stanley out another week. Patrick McCarry at left tackle. Juwan James, of course, half the season with, I think, a torn Achilles. He's on IR, though. Bad Powers, Cheryl Linderbaum, Kevin Saylor, Morgan Moses across that offensive line. Defensively, Justin Matabuke. Michael Pierce, Calais Campbell there. Travis Jones might be making his first start. No, wait. It might be his second. I don't know. He's getting playing time. Yeah, of course, third round pick at UConn. Adafe Way, Justin Houston there as well. Tyus Bowser and David Ojabo, the two backup edge rushers, both out. And Vince Beagle. So JPP, that's the reason they signed him. He'll get some playing time. John Ross, and Delan Hayes and Stephen Means across the Vince Beagle, John Ross, Dalen Hayes and Stephen Means across that linebacking core. All four of them, like the whole entire linebackers, even the edge rusher. All those guys are on IR. Josh Bynes and Patrick Queen are both healthy though. Marcus Peters, Brandon Stevens, Demarion Williams, and Marlon Humphrey, all questionable. That's a big concern, but the only Jalen Arbor Davis, Terrell Worley might be their starters. Chuck Clark, Marcus Peterson, Marcus Williams, Geno Stone, and Kyle Hamilton round out that secondary. Of course, Kyle Fuller still on IR. Special teams, we still got Justin Tucker, Jordan Stout. Your Turner is Devin Duvernay and Nick Moore is long snapper. James Prochet II is questionable. Same thing with Demarion Williams. Let's get right to the Patriots starting lineup, though. Okay, for the Patriots, Mac Jones scores the quarterback. Brian Hoyer there as well as Bailey Zappi's there as well again. David Harris, Reminder Stevenson, Pearson Jr. at running back. Where did I keep forgetting? He went to South Dakota State. Hey, gotta remember that. Ty Montgomery is on IR, though. Jacob Myers is questionable. Kendrick Bourne. Devontae Parker, Nelson Aguilar there at receiver as well. Tyler Thorne, Christian Wilkerson, both on the IR. Hunter Henry, Johnny Smith, the tight end. Trent Brown, Colt Strange, David Andrews, Mike Onwenu, Isaiah Wynn across the offensive line. Andrew Stuber is out. Defensively, we got DJ Weiss Jr., Christian Barmore, Lawrence Guy, Devon Gotcha is questionable. Matt Judon, Josh Uche, Ryan Perkins is on the IR, but you still got Infernie Jenkins, Jawan Bentley, and Max Wilson Sr. Raekwon McMillan is questionable, though. Defense, secondary-wise, Jonathan Jones, Marcus Jones, Miles Bryant, Sean Wade, and Jack Jones. All the only question, healthy guys there, of course, with Jalen Mills, Kyle Duggar, both questionable. Of course, in the middle there, Devin McCourty is healthy. Joe Frapper's there as well. Aaron Phillips is also questionable. Jaquan Williams is on IR. Nick Foles is your kicker. Jake Bailey's your punter. Quinn Nordine out another week. Miles Bryant is your punt returner. Key returner is Kyle Duggar, but again, he's questionable. So the man out of South Dakota State, I remember this time, Pierce Strong Jr. is the kick returner. Ty Montgomery is again on the IR, and Joe Cardona is a long snapper. Let's get right to the keys of the game for this one. Okay, for this Ravens offense, continue to utilize Lamar in the run game. It worked really well, I think it will, but get Rashad Bateman out to the numbers to force the Patriots to spread out their linebackers. That's how you're going to get Lamar more space and these running backs more space, by getting Rashad Bateman out to the numbers, because he's so dangerous after the catch. We've seen that for the past 2 weeks. Get him involved out there. They're going to have to make sure they spread out those linebackers, because if they don't, they're going to get burned there. Let's get right to the Ravens. Well, obviously, the Ravens defense. Play the shell coverage until the Patriots prove they can run the ball, because then no big plays. And, again, that's just, you can't give any big plays. And, of course, get 3 sacks of Mac Jones. Don't just get pressure, put him on his butt. Let's get the Patriots. Okay, this Patriots offense forced the ball up the gut in the first quarter. Just do it. Don't even, try to throw it or anything. Just run it. But, yeah, 35 minutes possession would be really nice as well, but make it just to slow it down. And when the run game gets going, take play action shots to Nelson Aguilar and Johnny Smith and Hunter Henry. Yeah, you could say why the tight ends, because those guys are actually probably their best receivers other than Nelson Aguilar. You could argue, deep. Other than, of course, Kendrick Bourne, but he's not really a deep route. He's more of that yak, not possession guy, yak guy. Patriots defense contain Lamar with a blanket of DBs. Just keep it just the DBs the whole game. Just don't go any long run plays outside the numbers. That gets really bad. And finally, under 20 points allowed would give them a chance to win. That's all you really can ask for this Patriots defense, because this offense could struggle a little bit unless they make a lot of big plays. Yeah, that's really it for this Ravens Patriots game. Let's get to the next one. All right, the NFL on CBS Week 3. Let's go. Okay, Chiefs, of course, coming this game at 2-0. This is the NFL on CBS, Week 3 again, like I just said. Jim Nantz, Tony Romo, Tracy Wolfson on the call for this one. It's the main game. Chiefs, of course, like I said, 2-0 coming this game. 2 big wins. Blew up the doors with the Cardinals. Big, close win against the Chargers coming this game against the Colts team that just absolutely was, they were an absolute travesty offensively against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And they, almost came back from they were down 23 Texans, almost came back in Week 1. So, not the greatest start for the Colts, of course, at 0-1-1. Like I said, 1 o'clock on CBS. But yeah, announcers, all you need to know. That's really it for this one, though. Of course, we got to get to the Chiefs starting lineup in just about a minute. But again, this is the NFL on CBS. I don't know why it is, but it is. This could be an absolute blow. Could be a really good game. Who the heck knows? Matt Ryan wants to play well, though. Okay, for this Chiefs offense, Patrick Mahomes, of course, quarterback. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Jerick McKinnon, Isaac Pacheco at running back. I don't think he got any carries. He actually got some. Didn't do anything last week, though. Juju, Market MVS, McCullar, Mace Skyward receiver, Justin Ross still on the IR. Travis Kelce, Noah Gray at tight end. Not still on the IR. It has to be 4 games, I think. Blake Bell on the IR as well. Michael Brown at fullback, Orlando Brown Jr., Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Andrew Wiley at the across the offensive line. Lucas Niang is out. Defensively, George Karlaftis, Frank Clark, Carlos Dunlap off the edge. Mike Dannon is still out. Frank Clark actually has some tackles now. Derek Nottie, Chris Jones also there as well up the middle. Chris Jones was a very good player. Darius Harris is starting because again William Gay is suspended. Personal context policy, I gotta look into that. All you need to know though is Nick Bull and Carlos Dunlap, Leo Chanel there across the linebacking corps. Wait, is Leo Chanel? Yeah, he had one tackle. That's what I thought. Either way though, Rashawn Fenn, Legarius Sneed, Chris Lamons, Jalen Watts across that. Cornerback room, of course, with Justin Reed, Juwan Thornhill there. Safeties, Trent McDuffie on the IR as well. Harrison Bucker's out. Matt Amendola will start. Tommy Thompson is our other punter. Miko Hardman, Isaac Pacheco are the returners. Punt returners, Miko Hardman, kick returners, Isaac Pacheco. James Winchester is the long snapper. Trent McDuffie, of course, on the IR. That's really it, guys. Let's get right to the Colts starting lineup. Okay, for this Colts offense, of course, Matt Ryan, a quarterback. Dave Foles is his backup. Jonathan JT, Niemeyer's in the backfield. Michael Pittman Jr. and Alec Pierce back. Paris Campbell still stinks. Kyle Granderson, Mo Ali Cox, tight end. Matt Pryor, Quentin Nelson, Ryan Kelly, Danny Pitcher, Brandon Smith across the offensive line. Bernard Raymond is out. Andrew Ogletree, Carter O'Donnell both on the IR as well. Quiddy Page, Forrest Buckner, Grover Stewart there. Yannick Ngakwe is questionable though. Taekwondo Lewis, Dale Odingbo there as well. And of course, Bobby Okereke, Shaquille Leonard's out another week. Why didn't they put him on IR? I don't know. Maybe it's just one game they want him back. Either way though, he'd be probably going to step in again too. Zaire Franklin, sub linebacker. Kenny Moore II. Brandon Faison, Isaiah Rogers, Stephon Gilmore, Nick Cross, Julian Blackman, all round out that secondary. Of course, with Marnie Watts and Trevor Benbow on IR. Chase McLaughlin is their kicker. Matt Hawk is their punter. Of course, Rigoberto Sanchez on IR. What was it? Achilles, that's what I thought. Okay, Naheem Hines is punter, returner, kick returner is Isaiah Rogers. Luke Rhodes, long snapper. And yeah, that's really it. Let's get right to the keys to the game. Okay, for this Chiefs offense, run the ball for over 100 yards in the first half. Like, yeah, they got to run the ball well. Mahomes should continue to take advantage of the linebackers playing off the ball as they know he'll likely throw the ball on the run. Keep it, Patrick. Yeah, I want to see Patrick Mahomes keep the ball a little bit against this team. Fool him around. Chiefs defense, though, 7 men in the box, forcing Matt Ryan to get the ball out quick under pressure. He is not the best under pressure quarterback, especially when it comes to getting it out quick. He likes taking his time reading the field. You can't let him do that if there's 7 men in the box. Let's get right to the Colts, though. Okay, for this Colts offense, big plays in the run game, that would be really nice. Big quick throws in the red zone because they just don't want any interceptions. And the receivers need to get production through screens. They're not going to get open, so just get the ball to them during screens. Colts defense, just contain Mahomes. Like, if they can do that, I guess it's going to work out. No big plays and containing Mahomes. I think that would be good because no team has been able to contain Mahomes ever. Make sure you contain him. Let's get to the Jags and Chargers game, though. Okay, for this Jags and Chargers game, of course, Jags win this game off a huge win and a shutout. They're at 1-1. Chargers win this game off a tough loss. They're 1-1. Of course, big injury news. We'll get to that in a second. Of course, Justin Herbert is questionable. We'll get that, like I said. 4 or 5 on CBS, though. That's the time. Greg Gumbel, Adam Archuleta, and Craig Humble, Adam Archuleta, and AJ Ross have the call for this one. Should be honestly a pretty good game. Last time these two teams met here, it was 39-29. Wouldn't say blowout win. It was a huge win for the Chargers. So they almost scored 40 points. All you need to know is, yeah, that was a high-scoring thing. How many points was it? 68 total points. Yeah, that was pretty high-scoring game last time these two teams played. But yeah, see what happens to this one. Should be pretty good. Okay, for the Jags offense, Trevor Lawrence, of course, quarterback. C.J. Beathard is his backup. James Robinson and Travis Etienne Jr. at running back. Christian Kirk, Marvin Jones Jr., Zay Jones at wide receiver. Willie Howe Johnson is on IR. Jamal Agnew, of course, receiver as well. Evan Ingram, Chris Manhurst, Dan Arnold, Luke Farrell at tight end. Cam Robinson, Ben Bartz, Luke Fortner. Brandon Scherf, Juwan Taylor across the offensive line. Defensively, Forlenzo Fatakasi, Devon Hamilton, Roy Robertson Harris. And then off the edge, you got Josh Allen, Deshaun Dixon. Does he have a sack? No, he doesn't. Don't even think he has a snap. Traylon Walker, Caleb Chase on. He still has only 1 sack. We don't want to go to YouTube. Let's just get back to that. Okay. Then of course you got Josh Allen there as well. How many sacks does he have? 1? No, he's got 2. That's good for him. But yeah, then you got Devin Lloyd, Felicia Lewin up the middle. Tyson Campbell, Darius Williams, Chris Claybrooks. Trey Herndon there as well. Shaquille Griffin is questionable. We still got Rashawn Jenkins. Andres Cisco is there as well. Riley Patterson's their kicker. Logan Cook is their punter. Jamal Agnew is their returner. And Ross Madzik is their long snapper. K for the Chargers, just remember your course question about quarterbacks. Chase Daniel might have to start. Austin Eckler, Joshua Kelly, Sony Michel, Isaiah Spiller in the backfield. Really just a Sony Michel and Austin Eckler, though. Keenan Allen's questionable, though. That's a little bit of concern. Mike Williams, Joshua Palmer, DeAndre Carter, Jalen Guy in there as well. Gerald Everett there. Jonathan Parham Jr.'s questionable. Trey McKitty there. And Stone Smart out. Xander Horvath is your fullback. Rashawn Slater, Matt Filer, but Corey Lindsey is doubtful. Will Clapp will probably have to back him up. Zion Johnson is the right guard. Trey Pipkins, the third. Of course, we're starting. Right tackle is questionable, so Storm Norton might have to play. And Morgan Fox is starting off the edge along with Sebastian Joseph Day, Austin Johnson. Jared Tillery got benched because he's not playing well right now. Forrest Miller, Merrill, I don't even know how to pronounce it, he's on IR. Joey Bosa, what is it called? Khalil Mack, Kyle Van Noy, Chris Rump off the edge. Of course, with Kyle Van Noy playing inside linebacker as well with Drew Tranquil. Kenneth Murray got benched again. Damon Lloyd on IR. J.C. Jackson is doubtful after missing week 1, playing week 2. Yeah, he's doubtful though. Michael Davis, Brett McCallahan, Danae Leonard, or Sir Taylor competing for that fourth quarterback role for this game. Spot, whatever you want to call it. Asante Samuel Jr. starting though, obviously with Derwin James and Nasir Adderley. Derwin James Jr. and Nasir Adderley. And Asante Samuel Jr., obviously. Okay. Kicker is Dustin Hopkins. Punter is J.K. Scott. DeAndre Carter's return. Josh Harris, long snapper. Let's get right to the keys to the game. Kickers, Jags offense. Trevor leads to build off the efficient game against the Colts with some long bombs. Take some shots. Yep. Travis Etienne should have more volume in the first quarter, 5+ carries, get on the ball, and get James Robinson outside the numbers. Whether it's on run designs or having him split out wide, I want to see him get the ball, whatever he needs, but he needs to get in some space. Let's get to the Jags defense. Pressure Herbert or whoever that court is, 80+%. I mean, you got to do that. That's how they're going to get a lot of big plays. 4+ sacks from Josh Allen, Trayvon Walker, big day for them. And Mike Williams needs to be played soft coverage, 8+ yards off. He's not going to beat you underneath. Don't want to beat you deep. Let's get to the Chargers. Okay, for this Chargers offense, the run game needs to become a bigger factor. I don't care how it does, just got to be bigger. 30+ attempts, 250+ yards, 2 touchdowns would absolutely get it. The O-line needs to hold, that's just not good grammar, but whatever. The O-line needs to hold blocks for longer than a second. I mean, yeah, I know he gets the ball out quick, but you got to at least hold some blocks. Take some deep shots early. Early deep shots would be very nice as well. Like early, like first play of the game maybe. Chargers defense, no big plays. They can't give those up. And fit the run with the linebackers. Use those guys because those guys are the ones who are the best in pursuit. And it's okay to give the Jags big run gaps as the speed is obviously on your side. I know how crazy that might sound, but if that's giving you a advantage on one side or in pass rush formations or on a stunt or a play design, I'm okay with it because you're obviously a faster team. Those big runs won't turn into 150 yards every game. Okay with it? Let's get to the next game. Okay, for this Falcons and Seahawks game, of course, now we're getting to the late window or late afternoon / national window. Of course, that was the late regional window. But yeah, this is the late national game window. It's 4:25 on Fox. The Falcons, of course, coming in at 0-2. Many people think they're the worst team in the NFL right now in terms of the power rankings, but I don't think they are. They played a lot of close games. They should knock out the Seahawks, who are 1-1, coming off a really embarrassing loss, being completely honest with you. But they were obviously the worst team there. They always got week 1 for them, though. I think it's yeah, you've got Chris Myers, Robert Smith, and Jen Hill on the call for this one. So should be a pretty decent game. Let's get right to the Falcons starting lineup. Okay, for the Falcons, of course, you got Marcus Mariota, quarterback, Cordell Patterson, Tyler Algier, Avery Williams, all in the backfield. Damian Williams is on the IR. Desmond Ritter, of course, backing up Marcus Mariota. Drake London, Olamide Zaccheaus, Brian Edwards, a receiver, Kyle Pitts, a tight end, Keith Smith at fullback. Jake Matthews at left tackle. Their left guard, though, Elijah Wilkinson is out, so Colby Gossett will probably have to start. Drew Dahlman, Chris Lindstrom, and Caleb McGarrett across that offensive line as well. Taquan Graham, Anthony Rush, Grady Jarrett on the defensive line, Marlon Davidson, Vincent Taylor both on IR, Arnold Ibikidi, Lorenzo Carter, Adekungbo, Ogun Denji, and D'Angelo Malone starting on the edge group, but of course, Adekungbo, Ogun Denji not starting. Michael Walker, Rashawn Evans up the middle, Deion Jones, of course, still on the IR. AJ Terrell, Casey Hayward, Duran Hall, Mike Ford in the cornerback room with Jalen Hawkins, Richie Grant at safety, Isaiah Oliver on the IR. Your punt returner, your kicker, his place kicker, whatever. Ajan Oku, Brad Pinions, punter. Avery Williams is punt returner. Cordell Patterson, escape returner, and Liam McLaughlin is a long snapper. Let's get right to the Seahawks. Okay, for the Seahawks, Geno Smith, of course, the quarterback, with Drew Lock as his backup. Rashad Penny, and Kenneth Walker, the third, both looking to bounce back. And, of course, Kenneth Walker had a crappy debut last week. How many runs did he have? 4 for 10. Yeah, not great. And then you got Taylor Lockett, DK Metcalf, Marquise Goodwin, a receiver. Cody Thompson is on the IR. Noah Fant, Will Disley at tight end. Nick Ballora, fullback. Charles Cross, Damian Lewis, Austin Blake, Gabe Jackson, Abraham Lucas across the offensive line. Chubby Harris is out. Quentin Jefferson will step up. Al Woods and Puna Ford there as well. Darrell Taylor, Uchenna Nwosu, and Boya Mafe, and even Darrell Johnson are all starting for them. Jordan Brooks, Cody Barn are up the middle. Of course, LG Collier, Owen Robinson, Tyreek Smith. But all three of those guys are on the IR for the front seven. Joe Radigan and Ben Burke-Irvin. I think Ben Burke-Irvin's have been out all the games this season. Yeah. All those guys, though, that's really what you get. Both the guys are on the front seven, or the linebackers, whatever. Mike Jackson, Tariq Woolen, Artie Burns, and Kobe Bryant, and even Xavier Crawford, and Sidney Jones IV, all in cornerback room, of course, with Justin Coleman, Joey Blount, both doubtful, and Trey Brown is out. Jamal Adams probably out for the season. Josh Jones there. Quandre Diggs is even questionable. I don't even know what else to say. Ryan Neal starting. Kicker-wise, you got Jason Myers, Michael Dixon is your punter. Your returner, you got D. Eskridge and DJ Dallas is your kick returner. Your long snapper is Carson Tinker, though. Tyler Wright, of course, on IR. Let's get right to the keys of the game, though. Okay, for the Falcons offense, get back to the Week 1 run game. That would be really good. Big plays need to become a factor. They haven't had any of those this year. That just needs to happen. Marcus Mariota can't press as the offense is capable of moving the football. We saw it last week. They can still do it. And Kyle Pitts, 15-plus targets. I don't care if he's the only one getting passes thrown to him. He needs to be the only guy getting passes thrown to him. I'm not even joking. Of course, you have probably Drake London too, but get him the darn ball. Falcons defense. Keep the team in it with under 17 points in the first half. They don't want it to be like last week, but as well as that, if they keep it to at bay, I think they actually have a shot to win it. Nobody plays in the run game because that just won't work well. And play up as Geno Smith doesn't have a dazzling deep ball. He's not going to want to push the ball in the field. He's going to be efficient. He was like that last week. Let's get to the Seahawks. And speaking of taking shots, yeah, Seahawks offense, Geno takes some shots. Yeah, go ahead. And get Tyler Lockett going deep on those shot situations. I don't care how bad the deep ball is. If it's in his range, he's going to catch it. Especially if it's always over their shoulder, too. Seahawks defense account for the backs and tight ends as they want. That was what plagued you guys last week. They didn't account for them. They got out of the backfield wide open. And push the safeties up on second down because that's when the Falcons are going to want to run the ball. That's really when they're going to want to get that running game going. That really gets working. I think they've got a shot there. Seahawks defense, hope you play well. Let's get to the next game. Okay, my Rams, of course, a 1-1 coming off that bounce back win against the Falcons. Really good, really just wild game. But yeah, they're on the first road game this season, going into Arizona, going against the Cardinals, of course, coming off that thrilling one. They've got a lot of momentum. They're going to really want to win this game. Both teams are both at 1-1. This is essentially a battle for the top of the NFC West, as, of course, you still got the 49ers playing, but big game for both teams. 4:25 on Fox, you have Kevin Kugler, Mark Sanchez, Laura Oakman on the call for this one. Should be really good. Let's get right into the Rams starting lineup. Okay, for the Rams, Matt Stafford, of course, quarterback. Darrell Henderson Jr. should definitely get the start. Cam Akers is there as well. Kyron Williams is on the IR. Cooper Kupp, Allen Robinson is the second. And oh no, Van Jefferson. Yep, he's on the IR now. It kind of stinks. But Ben Skoranek, Brandon Powell, and even maybe Tutu Howell will probably get some snaps. JJ Koski on the IR. Bryson Hopkins is suspended, so Tyler Higbee and, of course, Kendall Bland is back. Joe Nopum, David Edwards, Brian Allen's out. Coleman Shelton probably going to start there. Odi Abashi probably going to start at white guard. Right tackle, Rob Havenstein. Both Tremaine Ankrum Jr. and Logan Brett, of course, he's out for the season. But yeah, Logan Brett's on the IR, and Tremaine Ankrum, who might come back, he's on the IR as well. Adrian Robinson, Greg Gaines, Aaron Donald across that defensive line with Bobby Brown is third on IR suspended with PEDs. But you got Leonard Floyd, Justin Howard, Cheryl Lewis, Tagaris McKinley off the edge. I want to see him get some snaps. Ernest Jones, Bobby Wagner up the middle with Trayvon Howard, of course, not out. Daniel Hardy's on the IR. David Lowe Jr. is out. Robert Rochelle, Jalen Ramsey. Darian Kendrick and maybe even Kobe Durant, but again, he's out. This really stinks. Sean Jolly will get some snaps as well. Where he's from? App State. I hope he plays well. Taylor Rapp, Niska, Terrell Burgess there. Jordan Fuller is questionable as well. Of course, Troy Hill is on IR. Quentin Lake is also out. Really it for this Rams team, though. A lot happened. Let's get right to the Cardinals. Okay, for the Cardinals, you got Kyler Murray, quarterback, Trace McSorley. Of course, their backup, Colt McCoy's on IR. James Conner's questionable for this game, though. Darrell Williams, Benjamin have to pitch in, and even probably Jonathan Ward as well. Marquise Brown, AJ Green, Greg George, Andy Isabella, receiver, of course, Rondell Moore out another week. DeAndre Hopkins suspended another game. Antonio Wesley's on IR. Zach Ertz, Steven Anderson, about the tight end. Max Williams there as well. Samuel Craig McBride. I think he has a couple catches. No, he actually doesn't. TJ Humphries, Justin View, Rodney Hudson, Will Hernandez, Kelvin Beachum at that offensive line spot. Cody Ford's on IR, sitting with Joshua Miles and Marquise Hayes. Defensively, J.J. Watt, Zach Allen, and Rashard Lawrence round out that defensive line with Dennis Gardig, Marcus Gordon, Devon Kennard, and Victor Dimenji off the edge. Zayna Collins, Isaiah Simmons up the middle with Ezekiel Turner, but he's out. Tay Daly is on the IR. Same thing with Charles Washington in the secondary. But James Thompson, Jalen Thompson, Budda Baker, Marco Wilson, Byron Murphy Jr., Trayvon Mullen, and Christian Matthew there as well. But Antonio Hamilton is also out. Matt Prater's their kicker, and he leads their punter. Greg Dortch's their punt returner. Kicker returner is, Benjamin, Aaron Brewer is their long snapper. Rondell Moore is out. Let's get right to the keys of the game. Starting out with the Rams, of course. Run the ball 30 yards to less times. Pound that darn rock. Just do it, please. And get Cooper Kupp deep as he needs to use his full potential. He hasn't been used deep whatsoever. Get him there. Allen Robinson needs 3 plus 50-50 balls. I don't care if it's 1 yard short pass, but it's got to be some type of 50-50 ball. 5 push shots by Matt Stafford aired out, and the O-line needs to have one of those games. I mean, one of those games where you're just absolutely dominated. They can't do anything. You're just that good. Rams defense, blitz Kyler and have Jalen play manipulative role to create some opportunities for big play defensive turnovers. Jalen Ramsey is the best corner in the NFL. He needs to get those opportunities. I think he will, but yeah, we'll see what he can do there. Let's get to the Cardinals. Cardinals offense, the run game needs to be very efficient. I mean very efficient, like 10 yards per carry efficient. Big plays, AJ Green and Marquise Brown will give them an advantage and no turnovers because the Rams do not want to have to worry about big plays whatsoever. That's what's happening. They're going to have to start playing even more back. Cardinals defense, make Matt Stafford step up into J.J. Watt, like make him rushers. Byron Irvin needs to blanket Cooper Kupp. That's going to be hard, but he was able to do it in week 4. See if he can do it tomorrow. And finally, don't get beat in the run game. If they get beat in the run game, it's going to be a really long day for the Arizona defense. They've been awful so far this season. Maybe they're okay. Who the heck knows? Well, first, in the overtime in fourth quarter last week, they weren't. But they were awful for 3 quarters last week. See the heck what happens, though. Let's get to the big game. Oh, yeah. America's Game of the Week. Rodgers, Brady, Part 5. Oh, yeah, everyone. It's America's Game of the Week. Bucs at 2-0, hosting Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers at 1-1, 425 on Fox. Yup, you got Kevin Burkhardt, Greg Olsen, Aaron Andrews, Tom Rinaldi on the call for this one. It's the biggest game of the week. I wouldn't say it's the best matchup of the week because the Packers are owned by the Bucs, and the Bucs blew them out last time they played on America's Game of the Week in the same stadium. At the same time, back in 2020, it was 38-10. It was an absolute stinker. I'll put it that way. But yeah, this game should be better. Of course, Tom Brady playing with a finger issue, I guess. But yeah, Packers really looking to make a step up. I don't know if they will though, because again, Tom Brady owns Aaron Rodgers. You just gotta remember that. Let's get right to the Packers starting lineup though. Okay, for the Packers, Aaron Rodgers, of course, quarterback. Jordan Love is his backup. Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon in the backfield. Kylan Hill is out. Alners Lazard, but Randall Cobb is questionable. Romeo Dobbs and Amari Rodgers are receiver. Christian Watson is questionable. Sammy Watkins is on the IR with some ankle injury. Robert Tonyan is at tight end. Of course, Sammy Watkins will miss 4 games. More details. There's an ESPN report on it. Marcedes Lewis is questionable. Joshua Dubois is still there, though. David Bakhtiari is questionable as well. Yash Neesman probably going to get another start. John Runyon, Josh Myers, Royce Newman, and Elton Jacobs round out that offensive line. Defensively, Dean Lowry, Kenny Clark, Jerron Reed in that defensive line. But you got Preston Smith, Rashawn Gary, Kingsley Enigbor, and Jonathan Garvin off the edge. Devontae Campbell, Quay Walker, Chris Barnes on the IR. Jair Alexander, Eric Stokes, Russell Douglas, Shamar Jean Charles, Adrian Amos, Darnell Savage. That's the secondary. Vernon Scott is on IR. Mason Crosby, Pat O'Donnell, kicker and punter. The returner is Amari Rodgers. Yeah, Coco is the long snapper. Right over to the Bucs. Okay, for the Bucs, yeah, Tom is there. Yeah, he's playing. He's not. He has a hurt. He got a boo-boo finger, but other than that, he's fine. Leonard Fournette's questionable. Rashad White and Keyshawn Vaughn there as well. Giovanni Bernard is on the IR. Mike Evans suspended 1 game for absolutely leveling. Leveling Marshall Lattimore. Chris Godwin's out another week. Julio Jones questionable. Russell Gage questionable. Same with Rashad Perriman. You guys still got Scotty Miller, Cole Beasley, Jaden Darden. Not the greatest receiving score to start out with. Maybe even Kalen Geiger is there as well. But yeah, Cameron Brate tight end. He hasn't done anything so far this season. Like, absolutely nothing. Absolute stinker start of the season. Cameron. Kate Owens, doubtful. Cole Keefe and Kyle Rudolph there as well. Donovan Smith is doubtful. Brandon Wallen might have to start. Luke Gedeke, Robert Hansey, Shaq Mason, and Tristan Wirfs. But you got Josh Wells, Aaron Steeney, and Ryan Jensen all in the IR. Defensively, Akeem Hicks is out. Patrick O'Connor probably going to start. Vita Vea, William Golson there as well. Cam Gill is in the IR. Logan Hall, second round pick out of Houston, number 33, I think. Yup. He's back up there. Wait, he has a sack? Oh, never mind. He just has 1 tackle. I was about to say. Joe Tryon, Shaquille Barrett, Anthony Nelson, Carl Nassib off the edge. Devin White, Levante David up the middle. Jamel Dean, Carlton Davis, Sean Murphy Bunting, Zion McCollum in that secondary along with Antoine Winter Jr. and Mike Edwards. Logan Ryan and Keanu Neal roaming the deep parts of the field. Ryan Succop, Jake Camarda, kicker punter, Jalen Darden is your punt returner, kicker returner is Rashad White, and long snapper is Zach Schreiner. Let's get right to the keys to the game. Okay, for this Packers offense, Allen Robinson and Christian Watson need to get over for 150 receiving yards. I don't know if it's combined or whatever. They need to be really good. Randall Cobb needs touchdown, and the running backs need to have over 200 total yards. They got to get those things going. That's the way this Packers offense is going to really be productive. Packers defense 5 plus sacks, 2 plus turnovers, and kick the crap out of the receivers. Yeah, like literally kick them. I don't care. Their defense needs to be dominant. Let's get to the Bucs. I don't know how much more of an emphasis I can put on any sort of key, but if they get up 14-0, that running game needs to start just going. Like, I don't care if it's every single play, that running game needs to get going if they get a big lead. Or multiple score lead. Bucs defense with 50-50 balls, play up as the Packers will want to dink and dunk. Yeah, if they win those 50-50 balls, the dink and dunk will just be that game, and it just won't work well for the Packers. But Bucs, that would be really advantageous for you. And choose the gaps on blitzes with Devin White and Joe Tryon. Those 2 guys are your best options. They're most athletic players on the defense. Maybe, I don't know, you could probably make arguments with other guys. But yeah, those are your blitzers. It's really what I want for this Bucs defense. Let's get to the Sunday Night Football keys to the game / preview. All right, guys. Yup. Cue those notes. All right, guys, we've got the Sunday Night Football preview right now. Of course, the 1-1 49ers are going into Denver to face off against the Broncos. Of course, Russell Wilson going up against the 49ers for another game. Of course, he's had their number of years, of course, in that NFC Championship. It's a really good game. Jimmy Garoppolo versus Russell Wilson once again. 8:20, of course, on NBC. Peacock, you can stream it on as well. And also on NFL Plus if you want to waste your money on that. Either way, though, yeah, Mike Tirico, Chris Collins, most of the starters calling this game again. 8:20 on NBC, Universo, NFL Plus. If you want to waste your money on that, and on Peacock. That's really it, though. And yeah, let's get right to the 49ers depth chart. Okay, for the 49ers, Jimmy Garoppolo, of course, the quarterback. Brock Purdy is his backup right now. Trey Lance, of course, out for the season with that ankle surgery. Jeff Wilson Jr. is their starting running back. Tyron Davis Price is out. So, Jordan Mason and Jamal Mack, you're going to get some carries. Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, Juwan Jennings, Ray McLeod at receiver. George Kittle, Ross Dwelly at tight end. Tyler Kroft is out. Kyle Juszczyk is, of course, their fullback. Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, Jake Brendel, Spencer Burford, and Michael McGlinchey go across that offensive line. Colin Mavakevitz is questionable. Daniel Brunskill is out. Defensively, of course, Simpson Ebukam, Nick Bosa. Does Simpson Ebukam have a sack? Yeah, he has 1 sack. Drake Jackson and Charles Omwenu off the edge. Of course, Drake Jackson off out of USC. Javon Kinlaw, Kevin Givens, Hassan Ridgeway, Khalil Davis is out too. Kerry Hyder Jr. guaranteed does not have a tackle. What did I say? And of course, yeah, Eric Armstead is here except he's questionable. That's a little concerning. as well as that's not what I wanted to see. I was talking about Javon Kinlaw. Javon Kinlaw really hasn't done much so far this year. But then, of course, you got Drake Greenlaw, Fred Lord, Narciso Shire on that defensive line. Curtis Robinson is on IR. Same thing with Maurice Durst and Jaron Willis. Across that front seven. Secondary-wise, got Emmanuel Welch, Charvarius Ward, Samson Warmack, who actually looked really good last year. He's third, too. Avery Thomas there as well. Chase Fred still out. Jimmy Ward out for a while. Of course, on IR. Tuma Funga and Chase Gibson Sr. Rounded out that secondary. Defensive, and then special teams-wise, you got Robbie Goldrich, kicker, Mitch Wisnowski is your punter. Returner is Ray McLeod III. Tabor Pepper is the long snapper. Let's get right to the Broncos starting lineup. And as we're on the Broncos, I want to say this. David Bakhtiari starting tomorrow. Good for you, David. Oh, yeah, and Nathaniel Hackett actually, admitted that he sucks at play calling. He hired, Jerry Rosberg to help him out. I'll put it that way. Kind of pathetic, if you can't even do that. All you need to know is Russ is their starting quarterback, obviously. John Devontae Williams, Melvin Gordon in the backfield. Jameer Crockett is on IR. Gordon Simon's there, but Jerry Jeudy, KJ Hamler, and Tyreek Cuban are all questionable. Montreal Washington is there as well. Tim Patrick is on the IR. Albert Okwuegbunam at Eric Saubert there as well. Andrew Beck at fullback. Garrett Bowles, Dalton Reisner, Lloyd Cushenberry III, and Quinn Miners, Billy Turner both questionable. Luke Wattenberg and Cameron Fleming might actually get some playing time. Tom Compton is out. Casey Tucker is on the IR. Defensively, Draymond Jones questionable. Matt Henningsen might have stepped up. T.J. Jones, Deshaun Williams there too. Mike Purcell is questionable. As backup, Randy Gregory and Brady Chubb, Baron Browning, Nick Bonito all got off the edge. Alex Singleton, but Josie Jewell is questionable, so Justin Strand probably will step up. Christopher Allen is on the IR. Jonathan Cooper is questionable. Justin Simmons, of course, on the IR. Same with Michael Ajimia. Patrick Tanner is questionable. Demarion Mathis, K'Wan Williams, Ronald Darby, kind of around at that secondary with Kareem Jackson, Caden Stearns. Brandon McManus, Corliss Waitman are the kicker and punter. Montreal Washington is the returner. Jacob Bodenmoyer is the long snapper. Of course, like I said, KJ Hamler is questionable. Right to the keys of the game, though. Okay, for this 49ers offense, 200-plus rushing yards, they got to get that done. Run the PA crossers, Jawan Jennings, Debo, and Brandon Ayuk. Again, if they get that going, that's going to be a little hard to stop. George Kittle should be torched the Broncos again. He had 300 yards last time they played. I can prove it, too. Broncos, 49ers, 2018. He had 210 receiving yards and a touchdown. All in the first half, too. And he had an 85-yard touchdown as well. He should torch the Broncos again. 49ers defense, no big plays. Take advantage of the inexperienced Nathan Taggart. I know he has a guy there, and get after Russ. If they can get after Russ like they usually do, and they don't give any big plays like they usually do to Russ, and they take advantage of a bad head coach, I think they're good. Now we got to get to the Broncos because they're more important for now. Okay, for this Broncos offense, run the ball 30-plus times with Javonte Williams. He needs to be the guy here. I don't care about Melvin Gordon. I don't care about my fantasy team for now. I need to see Javonte Williams have a great game. And Russ needs to be majestic. He has some of the most majestic deep balls. Usually, they looked actually pretty good against the Texans, but he hasn't thrown a lot of them. And even then, it's a little off kilter. They haven't been consistent. He gets those going. I think their offense is fine. Broncos defense though, limit the big runs. I mean, they're gonna get you up some runs, but they can't be anything big. Under 25 minutes possession time because that's one way to beat the 49ers. And finally, just don't give up Jimmy Tom out there down because he will deliver. He's done it time and time again. I would definitely expect them to try to bring some pressure there. But yeah, that's really it for this Sunday Night Football game. And guys, I hope you guys enjoyed. That was the Week 3 NFL Sunday preview keys to the game. And, of course, a lot of good games tomorrow, 14 to be exact. And, of course, we got the Monday Night Football preview keys to the game tomorrow. That's going to come out on, well, not tomorrow. It's coming out on Monday, but, yeah. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the games today, though. And, yeah, good luck to all the teams, of course. Bills, Dolphins, really good game. America's Game of the Week. Give you Bills, Dolphins is a game, but it's not nationally. But it's a very good game to watch. Chiefs, Colts. That's one of the national games, NFL on CBS. We've got the Packers and Bucs. That's America's Game of the Week. The NFL on Fox doubleheader Game 1 is the Ravens and Patriots, and Sunday Night Football 49ers Broncos. That's it for tomorrow, Sunday, though. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my video. Yeah, and we'll see you in the next one.
Brady goes for the deep shot. He's got a touchdown! Scotty Miller. Oh, my gosh. Scotty Miller got behind the defense and for 39 yards gets the touchdown. And what a half by Tom Brady.
Is that Kevin King that was in coverage? I couldn't tell exactly who it was, but you just cannot